up until like my junior year, like yes, I had cello, which was like one of my strong suits and was like good at academics, but like I didn't really like have a kind of like a lot of good extracurriculars. I just kind of did like random clubs in my school. I did like math team for a year, like debate for a year, like joined like random like honor societies just because I thought I should, but there wasn't much thought into it. But come end of my sophomore year, I actually did a program, like a summer program, that was like, and I think this was like my first like legit extracurricular, which was like I did it was called like Georgia Governor's Honors Program. So it's like just kind of a summer program in Georgia that like they have for like a lot of like talented students across any subject area basically, and I did it for cello. But this is the first time like I really did like a program like that. It was free. I was meeting so many people because I didn't really have many friends outside of my school at the time. But yeah, like that was really opening my eyes because that was like the first time I'm like, oh, there's all of this stuff out there. So this was the time I kind of like had that turning point where I'm like, oh, I can do a lot more. So come that fall is like when I start like really researching college applications. They would have
Mm-hmm.
like some colleges visit my school, and so I would start like kind of learning more about the process. And I don't want to say like I thought I was like screwed, but like I did realize like, oh, I have to really lock in. So come this time, what I ended up doing was I also did actually get into this like top youth symphony for orchestra like in my area that I had like literally auditioned for twice before and like gotten rejected. So this was like that was a very cathartic like moment for me into my junior year. But yeah, so I did that. So I feel like it's probably like a little bit confusing just because it's like, so I applied to Yale. Currently, I'm a CS major, but I applied for applied physics and like physics to most of my schools because that's like what I had most experience with in high school, and I didn't really do CS in high school. But basically, the reason I bring it up is because it's like I got a STEM likely letter. I applied for physics, and I'm only talking about like music as of now. But like I honestly didn't really have like that many like locked in physics extracurriculars until like literally like approaching my application. Because the next thing I kind of did was summer after my junior year into my senior year. So for that summer, I had applied to a few programs, some for music, some for STEM, and I'd seen this dude's video that got into MIT, and he talked about how he did this program called like MITES, which is this like national like
Mm-hmm.
MIT program that's for like kind of catered to like underrepresented, underserved people. So I ended up applying, just thinking like, oh, okay, like I'll just work really hard on this application, see where it takes me. I got in, which was honestly such a shock to me because like I had like no real extracurriculars for STEM at that time. And the acceptance rate for that program was like 8%. So that was pretty shocking. The other shocking thing that I had done was, or that had happened to me was I had applied for Carnegie Hall's like National Youth Orchestra programs. And they have two that I was eligible for at the time, which is like the top one, like NYO like National Youth Orchestra of the United States of America, and then NYO2, which is a little bit younger. And I had gotten to NYO2 actually, and that also shocked me. I was like, damn. Because for this program, it's like a very like big like orchestra thing because you get to like one like be with like all the best kids in the country and then also perform at Carnegie Hall, and then you get to like tour like across, if you're in NYUSA, it's like across the world, but for us we just went to Dominican Republic. But still, like, this was all free, so this was like a huge opportunity for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I would be like performing at Carnegie Hall, so that was kind of crazy. The one tricky thing is that summer I had to like, there was a period where I was, because the like for mites, the context is that there's like two versions of it. There's like
Mm-hmm.
online version that runs through the semester starting in the summer, and then there's like the summer program. So I did like the online one, partly because like I'd applied to it because I was applying for these orchestra things and wanted to do like two at the same time, which is kind of crazy, but we made it work for that summer. And I feel like those were like my main like big like programs, like shiny things. But as far as like how I like filled out everything else on my application, I think I really just tried to mold myself to this image, which I think is important to like, because it's all about branding yourself, you know, like you have to be memorable for like to really like catch admissions officers' eyes. I mean, for every student admitted to any one of these schools, it's like 20 other people rejected. It's tough. So what I ended up doing was I had kind of molded my application around being like a musician and then also doing like physics. So anything related to those two areas, I like really honed in on. So I did like a music tutoring organization too, where I was like tutoring someone for like giving free online lessons, but I also like became like essentially like a recruitment director for that. So that's another
Mhm.
like thing I was involved in. And what else? I did a physics internship my fall semester of my senior year. I did some research basically. It wasn't anything significant though, but I did put on my application. On top of that, it's kind of hard to remember honestly all these things. I was president of two clubs in my school, our like music honor society and then like this other like ambassador program. But yeah, those are kind of like my main extracurriculars because I already mentioned like my youth orchestra and stuff. I think the other thing that like made my application impressive was like I did come like May before my senior year, I had like grinded. Basically, that was when I started grinding for like my actual applications because I was like, I need to like do a shit ton of research, really like learn as much as I can about the process and about these schools. So I put a lot of work into researching everything. And then actually that's when I started like writing my essays and like I think I was able to craft like pretty compelling narratives about like the person who I am. And I think it's like another part that like made my application kind of stand out.